Man, it's good to see you, man. Damn, you look good.
Yeah.
You look good, bro. You look young.
Save that for the intro.
I got you.
Hey y'all, welcome to another edition of IVs and Alphas. We're just having fun here in the Ivy room today, just chatting bullshit, discussing all things badassery, and we just decided to put it on camera. We got Rudy Uribe here, aka Uribod, and C Murph, Chris Murphy, the extraordinaire. I don't know if you've seen his photos, but they're pretty sexy, I'm not gonna lie. How you doing?
Of me or the ones I take?
I meant the ones of me.
Oh yeah.
No. I'm joking.
I don't take photos of him. No sexy photos.
You do look good, Chris.
Thanks, bro.
Really good, man. Keep it up.
Appreciate it.
Here at the Alpha Male Clinic, we can give each other compliments like that.
Supposed to. It's masculine.
You know what I realized, man? And take this the way you want, y'all, but at the gym, when I see, if you go to the same gym at the same time, you realize it's the same people there.
Right.
I could leave for a year and come back at the same time to my gym, and I'm going to see most of the same people. It's really a community. It's a lot of fun to have that kind of a family at the gym. But occasionally I see somebody that loses a bunch of weight or really gains some size and some muscle, and I go out of my way when I see them, when I dab them up, they go, man, you're looking good. Holy shit, you're losing weight. And it's so fun to see their reaction because, a compliment from a gym bro like myself.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Am I wrong on this? Is more valuable than a hot chick going, 1000%. Oh, you look good, Rudy.
Oh yeah.
Because this is my science. This is what I do. I notice these things. You get a good compliment from a gym bro. Give me that all day because that actually means something.
And it's almost always. I think it's usually genuine. When a girl compliments you, she might just, I don't know.
Maybe she wants a free dinner.
Just
Maybe she
nice.
wants you to buy her drinks.
Yeah.
When I compliment you, it's just I'm trying to point out the obvious.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with some of my gym buddies, and we always say the same thing. Like whenever I get a compliment from a female, especially if she's a hot chick, you're like, okay, thank you so much. Don't get me wrong, I like that. But when like another guy who takes good care of himself, who's like at your level of fitness, compliments you, that is like the ultimate price because they recognize, wow, this man is actually putting in some work. Another cool thing is when you're a father and you're doing that, they respect you more. It's like, man, I want to be a dad that's in top-notch shape. They always ask me, what do you do? I say, bro, I'm going to be honest, man. I invest a lot of my time learning not just my body, but the science of how the body works because I want to know how to take care of myself.
I'm so glad you said that because that actually is the topic of conversation here today is I feel like the number one obstacle. Now, at the Alpha Male Clinic, we actually work with women. We call it the Alpha Chicks. We got a cool brand. But my passion is especially working with men. And I look at the culture we have, and I hate to bring it up, and this is going to piss some people off that are watching, listening to the podcast.
Let it out.
Okay, I'm going to let it out. The Chris Rock, we've all maybe you haven't heard the rant. The most famous thing he's ever said, the most viral thing he's ever said, is when he goes off and says that women, children, and animals are the only creatures that are loved unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Men are only loved under the condition that they provide something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I started the Alpha Male Clinic is I wanted to help men come back to life, bring alpha, bring macho back in our society. Mm-hmm. And the number one piece of advice I give to people every freaking day is you got to be selfish.
Yeah, you have to. You really do.
And the world tells us we need to be selfless.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to introduce the debate is the problems in our country related to we've lost masculinity in this country. Maybe we've been too selfless. Maybe we're not strong. Not even maybe. We are not strong like we were anymore. And I say it all the time, but I really honestly believe that if we were under British rule right now, if the redcoats ruled us right now, would we have the nuts as a society, the strength to say, fuck you, Britain? Do you think the Boston Tea Party would really happen today? I don't.
It'd be a different kind of tea party.
Oh yeah,
It'd be
we don't want to talk about that type of party.
It'd be a tea party. With your stuffed animals and your table and your tea set. That's what that tea party we would have.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's not American. I mean, like you said, we have to be more, greedy with ourselves. We have to be more. One thing that I've always learned was, and I see it a lot in this clinic. Let's talk about the guys that come into the clinic and the females. Most of them come in here because they stopped taking care of themselves.
They lost themselves.
And they wanted just to provide. And now they're in here, and the number one thing they always tell me, I need to get back to me. I'm like, yeah, you do, bro. Or ma'am, I mean, you got to get back on your ways. You got to get back on track, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to love you like you.
I bet you hear too that like guys that come in, they're probably like, my wife cooks like delicious food all the time. It's so hard for me not to eat. And that's them not being selfish enough and lacking the discipline enough to be like, hey, honey, like I love the meals you prepare, but I need to keep myself in shape and be healthy. So for our kids or for our future.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you got to prosper in the relationship if you take care of yourself. And if you don't eat right, how are you going to be able to provide for your family? You got to be the number one provider. The number one provider has to take good care of themselves. Yeah, it's not backwards.
We hear all the time gurus say you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. But it is so freaking true.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Does it mean, just keep putting other people before you and the love will envelop and change? No, it's not. It is the energy, the time, the money, the every capacity we have to give. I like to liken that to a checking account.
Oh yeah.
And I've been broke. I've been not broke, and I promise you, being not broke and wealthy is much more fun. It's not only more fun, but it's more fulfilling. There were times where I never gave a bum on the side of the road, or a homeless person, I should say, $1 or $10 or $20. But does it hurt me now to do that? It doesn't hurt me at all to do that right now. You cannot be effective as a giver, whether it's your time, money, talents, energy, unless you have an abundance. Mm-hmm. No different than a checking account. I can't give you or loan you money if it ain't my checking account.
Right.
And I see, these men especially, because that's the passion. They come in and I tell you guys, don't I? I say they don't come in here for testosterone. They don't come in here for vitamins, nutrition. They come in here for what?
They come in here for hope.
For hope.
Yeah, for hope. For real.
Hope to live a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in a fun, unique situation where we can help these people. And the number one piece of advice that I say is you've got to be selfish, at least for a period of time, where you can build that we'll say that personal checking account, that personal account of abundance, to where your cup is overflowing. Yeah. And when you live in abundance, you can be generous. Not just with money, but with time. That's even more valuable. I look at the ability I have now to sit down or when I come home from work, to be able to go out and shoot hoops with my son for 15 minutes. That's more valuable than buying him shit.
That's so much valuable, because that's something that they'll never forget. Like for instance, like I'm a father. I invest a lot of my time in coaching. And I do it for free. Why? Because I get to spend more quality time, not just with my son, but I get to show my son that I'm a role model.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm also showing other parents, other kids' parents, that listen, you should be out here with me having fun. This is the greatest time of my life. And I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm 36 years old, about to be 37. I feel like I'm in top peak shape, And again, I've invested a lot into myself.
Yeah, you look like you're just hitting puberty, man.
It is. It is. It does feel like that too. Again, I feel young, man. But at the end of the day, we have to really invest. I mean, you can't enjoy the fruits of nature. You can't enjoy the nice house, the fancy cars, the jewelry. You can't enjoy none of that if your health isn't at that top level too. That's why it's very important to you really yes, it's going to cost a little bit more, but guess what? It's investing into you, not anybody else but you. That's what's most important.
You know, I admire you, Rudy, because you are a single father. I have an amazing wife, amazing family, but I don't know how I would do it without her. You know, because I can focus on the business. I can focus on building that abundance I'm talking about, not just physically, you know, just staying on my game because I have a partner to help take care of the kids. How do you balance like that, taking care of yourself, but also being a kick-ass father?
Well, it's a schedule. You got to think about what's important. Okay, like for instance, like I have a child out of wedlock. So the mother and we're in good terms. Everyone's happy because at the end of the day, it's all about him. So whenever we set our schedules, when I check the schedule, of course, I prioritize everything around him. But at the same time, I got to find those gaps. When you find those gaps, that's when you say, okay, that's the perfect time for the gym. Okay, that's a perfect time to have a healthy meal. That's a perfect time to do some mental thinking or mental reading. You know, just kind of branding myself to become a better human being. Not only a better human being, but a better person for the society, a leader, somebody who's very masculine in the right ways. So, for instance, like here's a great example. So when I get my son, I have to take him to school. He has to be at school by 7 a.m. What do? I have to go to bed early so I can wake up early, so I can get on the grind as in going to work out. Now, whenever he goes back to his mother, you know, I change it up a little bit. Now I get to stay up a little late just to work on other stuff that I need to catch up on. And of course, wake up a little later because you need quality sleep. Again, I'm being greedy. I'm investing into myself.
Absolutely.
You got to work on sleep and recovery. So then I might sleep in a little bit longer, just an hour later, because I still want to grind in the morning. Because if I grind in the morning as in work and now go ahead and get my day started, that's when I feel like I'm unstoppable. That's when I'm like, all right, I'm turning it up. I don't know who else is turning it up with me, but it's go time in the morning time for me.
I love what Arnold Schwarzenegger says, and he says you only need 6 hours of sleep in a day. Which I actually believe it's 7. The science says it's more than 6, but regardless, he says that means there's 18 hours in a day. Or
Yeah.
I'll say 17. He says you have the time. You make the time.
Yeah, you got to make the time.
It's your standards, right? Like that's kind of what it all boils down to. Is like what are you not willing to accept? So if you don't have any standards or baselines for what you will and won't do, or what timetables you set aside for the gym or your kids or whatever, you're not going to do it because you can't hold yourself to that standard of living. Like you said, branding yourself. It's kind of like that. Like, this is my brand. I wake up at 6 every day. I get 7 hours of sleep. You know, I go to the gym. Just having those few things, I think the routine, those maybe just 3 standards. I'm not going to eat anything from the center aisles. I'm not going to sleep in, and, you know, what's the third? I'd go to the gym. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Three simple standards.
I mean, notice how I said rest, training, and eating right. That's selfish. I'm being selfish, and guess what? I'm talking about the 3 things that's going to take care of me: going to the gym, working out, recovery, and eating right. I'm not talking about going out and having a good time with the buddies. No, it's all about me. Yeah.
You know, guys, I listen to talks and speeches every freaking day. This is a big part of my regimen. Let's talk about the importance of what I read is routines and rituals.
Yes.
So we all know what routines are. We all got our routines. But what is a ritual? And I had to really examine that a little bit. And here's my definition. Okay, my definition of rituals is a series of routines that's run concurrently. And so I set up these routines. When I changed my life, I was 300 pounds. I lost it all in 90 days, 4 years ago, almost exactly this month. And so I set up my rituals. And those consisted of, I wake up in the morning early, not terribly early, but, you know, early enough to see the kids off to school. I take a 45-second cold shower, and it sucks. But 45 seconds later, when I'm drying off, I feel amazing. It's literally, it goes from suck. Oh, it's amazing. And then I go into the kitchen and I pour me a full shot of apple cider vinegar, which is
disgusting.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course I chase it with water, and then I have a cup of coffee. I sit and it's my little meditation. It's 15 minutes. I just kind of sit and enjoy coffee, look at the view a little bit outside. And then I jump in the car. Now, I take my son to school. And this is our routine, is we get in the car. I pop a little magnet holder for my phone, and I pop up my phone onto my YouTube videos, motivational, get you jacked up type of inspirational content. And there's millions of hours online about it.
I love that your son watches it too with you.
Yes.
I started that routine with my son, by the way.
He was 8 years old when I started this. And sometimes I look over and I get so jealous because I'm like, man, if I was raised with this kind of winning intelligence, which I wasn't. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, but I wasn't. If I was raised with this kind of winning intelligence, I would have been a killer so much freaking earlier. So we watch these videos, and as we're in the line dropping them off at school, when we find the right video, Marsha goes, "That's the one." And I have a group of about 150 people on a message thread that I call it alpha male motivation. And I put that on there 3-4 days a week. I pop a video up on there, and it's all the only purpose of the thread. Matter of fact, there's no communication. They all know this is not a chat thread. This is a distribution thread for inspirational content.
Oh yeah.
So I drop him off at school. I send the video. Well, I keep watching videos on my way to the gym. And sometimes I'm in the middle of a good video, or maybe I'm just not sufficiently motivated, and I sit in the parking lot for 5-10 minutes and get jacked up, hell up. And I typically shut the door. I run into the gym because I'm ready to kick ass. And I go in the gym and I beat my fucking ass. Like, I can't work out at Planet Fitness because I don't know if you know their standards, but they don't allow, you to make any noise.
Right.
I don't make noise when I lift so that you can watch me. I don't give a shit. There are some times when I'm finished with a set where I'm practically crying.
Yeah.
Because I pushed myself past the point and I failed. And it hurts so damn bad that I have to make a noise. And to me, I don't think you can go 110% quietly. So I can't work out at Planet Fitness. But the point is, I deliberately put myself through excruciating pain every freaking day. Not because somebody else inflicted it on me. And this is where I'm going to get with this. We deal with stresses and pains, we'll say, throughout the day that we're just rolling with the punches. Our boss might have put it on us. Maybe a car accident, maybe a flat tire, maybe somebody giving me some bullshit that I got to deal with, or talking crap. Those are pains inflicted on me. But everything I've just explained, from the cold shower to the vinegar to the watching videos. I could be watching Netflix. I could be watching SportsCenter. You guys realize when I set these routines up 4 years ago, I stopped watching SportsCenter. That was what I watched. Not anymore. My fantasy football game has sure suffered because of it, but my life is better. And so all these routines I've just mentioned, that is my ritual. And when I get out of that ritual, which I just moved to Florida, and it's been 4 months of completely mixing up my routines and regimens. And you know what happened is depression came. I literally went through a couple months where I just wasn't myself. I gained 10 pounds. I started feeling negative. My energy was suffering. And I realized, holy shit, you got away from your routines and rituals. And so that's the message, is create those. Personally, and I try to encourage people to work out in the mornings if they can. Yeah. Why? Because I like to win before I go into battle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's so much easier to conquer all those non-self-inflicted pains and troubles when I've already been a winner before I did any work for the day. What time do you wake up in the morning?
4:45 on the days that I have my son. I wake up, I start moving around, I start doing a little bit of like prepping, like doing some mobility stuff, because I know when I go to the gym, we're going to go right into the warm-up. So I kind of get a head start of everybody. You know what? And my routine is kind of like yours. I'll just wake up, I'll have all my stuff ready the night before, because I know I'm committed the night before. So I have everything ready and prepped. Wake up, I tell my girlfriend, hey, baby, I love you. I'll see you in a bit. I'm about to go kill in the gym. So I go to the gym, and on the way to the gym, I'll listen to like podcasts that I'm still catching up on. So instead of kind of like waking up physically, although I am doing the mobility stuff, I'm also waking up mentally. And it sucks because sunlight is actually really good for you. So I wish there was more sunlight in the morning whenever I'm waking up. So what I'm just doing is just kind of stimulating the brain through a podcast and catching up with some stuff.
What kind of podcasts you listen to?
So I listen to a lot of the Huberman podcast. I listen to him. And of course, I like to listen to different other podcasts. Another great podcast that you all should listen to is Alphas and IVs. I got to get on top of that, guys. Go ahead and subscribe and share it with a friend and hit us up. Leave a comment below. Let us know what y'all think. Also, give us some ideas of what other content y'all would like for us to talk about. But then, when I get to the gym, I gotta greet everyone. I gotta say good morning. I gotta spark their energy up because I'm looking at other winners just like myself. Because again, we're winning in the morning. Then from there, it's just a war zone for me. I'm trying to I try to compete with everyone that I work out with, and I do. So I don't go to a Planet Fitness, so I CrossFit. So it gets a little competitive, but at the same time, it's a community there, and we all showing each other love, pushing each other. And after that, I get back on the road. Now I got the sunrise coming up. Now I'm got the endorphins pumping out, all that dopamine. I just feel like a free man. And then I'm just driving by people like, yeah, what the hell did you do? Did you go work out? Are you winning? Which they might have a different routine, but still, that when I see people early in the morning on the same grind, I'm like, yeah, they're winning. I'm hanging out with the winners in the morning. Yeah.
Chris, you've been with me filming content, helping us at the clinic for a long time. Well, not a long time. How long has it been?
A year? Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
I've seen major changes in you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you could just give one or two reasons, what is the top one or two reasons for that?
The clinic has played a huge part in that because I'm surrounded by people that are constantly motivated and on their stuff. So I will say the clinic's been a huge proponent of my success as far as getting my weight back in a good range, getting my body fat down. I built some muscle since I've been here. So it's kind of inspiring just being in this environment because I've always worked out. I've been working out since I was, 23, 24, but it would be just like this. It was very seasonal. I didn't have a concrete routine. And now just being around men that are uplifting, motivating, we're constantly in a fitness kind of environment with the gym and everything else. I think that's played a huge role. And then obviously, getting back to intermittent fasting, that's something that I'd done before that I had great results with. So I started doing that again. That really helped. And just listening to conversations in the clinic has been a huge help because I feel like I'm probably in the best shape I've been in. And that's been over the course of the last 7 months that's happened. So, and that's right in line with working here. So I'd say that's got to be a big part of it.
No, it's impressive. And Rudy, how long have you been here at the clinic?
Let's see, February 7, yeah.
Okay. Massive transformations. And you always physically looked good.
Yeah.
You might look a little better now than you did.
But 100%. I totally agree.
But the biggest thing, man, is the way you speak.
Yeah.
Bro,
Swagger, baby.
You had little to no confidence of speaking off the cuff.
Yeah.
Do we have an outline for this podcast today?
No.
Did we write bullet points?
No.
Did we discuss a strategy before we turn the cameras on? No. What's the one freaking thing I said? Hey, sit down. Hey, just so you know, we're going to talk about the importance of being selfish right now. Boom.
Too easy.
And here we are. And the way you speak, the way you look, the way you project. I mean, no stuttering, no pauses. It's really incredible to see, man.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
you gotta be selfish. You gotta be selfish.
I've noticed it too because his videos have. Because I filmed these guys, obviously, and your stuff's gotten so much better. The confidence. And then, obviously, you're learning, too, I know, as you're doing this. So you're going to get more confident about what you're speaking on. But just your presence is very, You're
making me blush.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone, I'm blushing right now.
Like I said, though, and that's the mission, and that's what I'm so proud of, is we cannot give people hope.
Yeah.
Unless we're that beacon of energy and light. But it all comes down to, back to being selfish, taking care of yourself before you take care of others. Chris, you said, what was the example you said about the airplanes?
So and they always tell you when the oxygen masks drop to put yours on first. Don't worry about your kids. Do them afterwards because you can't save them if you can't breathe. You can't think clearly. You can't.
I absolutely freaking love that analogy. I'm going to use it all the time. It's mine now. It's totally mine now, Chris.
Trademarks.
But no, that's the principle, and you can relate that to everything.
Yeah.
Everything. How can you expect your kid to be fit and live a fit lifestyle if you're a fat ass?
Oh yeah.
How can you expect your kid to work hard when you're lazy?
Mm-hmm.
How can you expect your wife to be sexy for you if you're not sexy?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's the perfect example.
It is.
Put the mask on yourself first. Yep. Make sure the air is flowing before you put it on.
And it'll probably appear selfish to some people, but they don't see that. But they don't see what your goal is, and that's ultimately just to make sure that you're foundationally strong for other people around you. That's really the purpose. You can't help anyone if your confidence is lacking, if your energy is lacking, if you just don't have a healthy and routine lifestyle, you're a mess. You don't have any organization. How can you help anyone with their schedule if your schedule's a mess? How can you help anyone eat healthy or decide on anything if you can't decide on what to eat every day?
Amen, bro.
It boils down to, like, you can't give advice if you're not living what you're saying. It doesn't make sense.
You got to walk around like the standard.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the people here for a second, because this is a subject that's very dear to my heart. 4 years ago, as I referenced, I entered a body transformation challenge by First Form Nutrition, and it was an 8-week challenge. And it wasn't about how much weight you could lose; it was about the before and after photos and how drastic those photos would look. Now, truth be told, I planned on winning this competition. Even though there's 20,000 people in the competition, I planned on winning from day one because I knew I had an edge. I was strong. I was strong and fat. So underneath that fat, there was actually very good muscle. And so I knew that if I lost 40 pounds, it was going to look like 80. You guys have seen my before and after photos. People accuse me all the time of them being fake, because they do kind of look fake.
Oh, yeah.
I have to lift up my shirt and show them, no, it's been 4 years. I still got the abs. But the way it had to be done, and I actually sat down with my family, had a little family council. I said, guys, tomorrow I'm starting this competition, and I'm going to win $50,000. That was the first prize. And I said, this is going to be hard. And for 8 weeks, I need to change my priorities. I said, guys, I have to be selfish. And I told them this. I said, there's going to be times where I'm getting a 2-a-day workout in. There's going to be times where I don't come home when I said I'm going to be home. There's going to be times when you guys are eating food and I'm not eating with you. I said, I'm going to put for 2 months, especially at least 2 months, I'm going to put myself first, above my marriage, above my family, above work. And then once I achieve my goal, I can readjust my priorities. Guys, it was so essential. And because I had that formal conversation with my wife and my family, they supported me and they understood. I have to take my happiness back. Here I am trying to make all of you happy and secure when I'm not happy and secure with myself. Matter of fact, I was insecure, very, very insecure. I was struggling with depression, anxiety, because I had nothing to give, but I was still just kept trying to give.